It seems the Xbox Series X is winning over some PlayStation 5 enthusiasts, and the newest game's hitting Xbox Game Pass this month. There's a lot here to talk about, so let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? It's Randall Thor19, the man with the million, back again with another video. I hope everyone's having a great day, and if you guys can do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and please hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you all for the continued support and for checking out this video. The Xbox news has certainly been dry these past couple weeks. It really does seem like Microsoft is waiting for that Bethesda and Xbox deal to officially close and announce whatever they're going to do with that event where we get some videos with Phil Spencer, Todd Howard, and the answer about exclusivity. But in the meantime, I gathered a few different topics here I wanted to talk about. Per usual, the beginning of the month starts and we get updates about what brand new titles are coming to Xbox Game Pass in March. I'll be talking about those titles that will be hitting the service. Although if you're not a sports fan, I think these list of games won't be that interesting to you. But the big topic for the video that I'm going to get into right away is how it seems that the Xbox Series X, as a piece of hardware and all the features that it has, is winning over some pretty staunch PlayStation users, especially in the media. Now, personally, I thought the Xbox would start making inroads with PlayStation people more so when the games actually released. As everybody knows, the launch of the Xbox Series X was pretty dry when you talk about first-party exclusive content, and honestly, there hasn't been a lot of exclusive content released for this system this year besides the medium. We all know that Halo Infinite is coming out this holiday, and I feel that Starfield will be launching as well, exclusively to Xbox and PC, but I figured more PlayStation users and people in general would gravitate towards Xbox later on in the generation, maybe in 2022 or 2023, when big titles from their newly purchased studios would start hitting Xbox and PC, but more importantly, being put into Game Pass day one. Fable, Avowed, Perfect Dark, Wolfenstein 3, Arcane's next game, id Software's next game, Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 5, Gears 6, etc., etc. Xbox has 23 studios, and we really haven't seen anything from these titles, and we don't even know when they're going to release. But it seems because of the features that Team Xbox has put into the Xbox Series X, those quality of life improvements have impacted a lot of users, even some people in the media, to say, you know what, the PlayStation 5 is going to be on the shelf until it gets some more exclusive content, and my current preference right now for playing games is the Xbox Series X. There was an article posted a couple days ago on Kotaku where the author described how he switched from the PlayStation 5 to the Xbox Series X, which prompted me making this video. The article starts out by saying that I started this new generation of game consoles with the expectation that I would be playing most of the games on the PlayStation 5 like how I played most stuff on the PlayStation 4 last gen. But nearly 5 months later, I'm spending most of my time on the Xbox Series X, and now I feel bad like I'm ignoring my PlayStation 5. In December, I got an Xbox Series X storage expansion card giving me an extra 1 terabyte of next-gen space. This is very useful as it lets me download and install more next-gen titles. On PS5, there is still no way to expand SSD storage, limiting how many big games like Call of Duty you can install at once. I also began to download more 360 and Xbox One games that I owned and found they played great on the new machine. Game Pass began to add more games to my growing list of stuff to play. I also started taking advantage of the ability to bounce between my Xbox One, the PC, and the Xbox Series X, with some games letting me play anywhere, no save transferring needed. For example, Gears 5. I started replaying the game on Xbox One, then moved to PC, then moved to my Xbox Series X while my girlfriend played something on the PC, and then moved to xCloud on my phone when I wanted to play in my living room near our fireplace during a cold night. And it just worked. I didn't have to manage saves, installs, or anything. It was seamless. This also happened with Watch Dogs Legion. I started playing on the Xbox One, then I got my new console and booted up the game on the Series X. All my progress, achievements, and saves were waiting for me. No fuss, no extra steps. Meanwhile, on PlayStation 5, I was able to move my saves over from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but I didn't get all my trophies. I accidentally downloaded the PS4 version the first time I went to install it, which was annoying and a waste of time. Another big reason I've spent more time on my Xbox is backwards compatibility. Sure, almost every PS4 game works on PS5, but no PS3 or PS2 games work on the new machine. Over on the Xbox, I've been playing Xbox 360 games, Xbox One games, and even an original Xbox game. They look great too, thanks to the Auto HDR features built into the new Xbox. And recently, older games got even better on Series X with the FPS Boost feature. It's still limited, but being able to play through new Super Lucky's Tale at 120 FPS was fantastic. The Master Chief Collection also runs at 4K 120 FPS and has become one of my most played games of 2021. It's also nifty that I can bounce over to the PC to keep making progress on my account. Game Pass is another big reason for my PS5 is starting to collect some dust. I just downloaded Dirt 5 to my Xbox, which was recently added to Game Pass. I didn't even turn on the console. I did it all via the easy-to-use Xbox app on my phone. In fact, I could just play it on my phone via xCloud, but I'm going to wait to play it on my big dumb 4K TV with the 120 FPS mode enabled. Of course, the author mentioned that once Horizon Forbidden West and Ratchet & Clank and all the PlayStation exclusives start hitting the PlayStation 5, he would probably transition and start playing more over on that console. But this was certainly an article I didn't expect to see already at the start of this generation when Xbox has kind of been lacking huge exclusive titles. It's something I expected to see maybe in 2022 or 2023. But here we see this author call out Xbox's dedication to backwards compatibility and making older games better with Auto HDR and the new FPS Boost as something that really appealed to him. And then there's Xbox's biggest underrated feature that I don't think gets mentioned enough, which is unlimited cloud saves that basically follow you anywhere. You can start up and play Gears 5 on your PC, take it over to the Xbox Series X, download your cloud save, and begin right where you left off. You can even do that on Project xCloud. And when you combine it with smart delivery, when you play a game like Cyberpunk and it eventually gets updated to the next gen version, you automatically get that next gen version and you don't have to worry about your saves because it will just work. And then there's the storage solution drama, which this author talks about how he had just picked up a 1TB SSD expansion card that Xbox sells if you want to have more storage. It's just a little small card, you plug it into the back of the Series X, and it's great if you're somebody who downloads a lot and wants to play a lot of different titles without having to manage the titles that you have and delete them and re-download them. Some people don't want to deal with that because of data caps. And with some of these games actually having a huge footprint on the storage space that you can have, so if you're someone who plays Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War all the time, you're not going to have a lot of extra space on your PS5 internal SSD because you can't expand it yet, and you can't store PS5 games on an external device like you can on Xbox. It seems like this could be a problem for power users of consoles until Sony rectifies that with the summer update, but until then you might have to choose to play more on the Series X because of how easy it is to upgrade the storage. And last but not least is Xbox Game Pass. The ability to play new releases day one like Halo Infinite, the Forza series, Starfield, Wolfenstein is a ridiculous value that will make a lot of people look at Xbox as potentially a secondary console, if not your primary. But then when titles like Dirt 5 come 3 months after release, and a huge title like NBA 2K21 comes 6 months after release, it's no wonder that people are really starting to look at Xbox Game Pass as something that could potentially disrupt the industry. I guess the question I have is this a temporary thing, or will it be something that happens throughout the entire generation? Former PlayStation guys choosing to play on the Xbox Series X because of a variety of different reasons? Or will it be once those huge PlayStation exclusives start to hit like Horizon and God of War, will those PlayStation users just go back to using the PlayStation 5 as their primary console? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of Xbox Game Pass, we got the next 2 weeks of additions coming to the service. Although if you're not a fan of sports games, then I think you're going to be pretty disappointed with what Game Pass has to offer these next couple weeks. Although it makes sense for Xbox to get these huge sports titles into the service as it will expand their user base. So Madden NFL 21 is available right now. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can get Madden NFL 21 right now because it's included with an EA Play. And they actually give you both versions. You can play Madden NFL 21 on the Xbox One, and if you have the Series X and Series S consoles, you can play Madden NFL 21 on the next-gen version. Another game available today is Football Manager 2021 for Game Pass on PC and Football Manager 2021 Xbox Edition for console and PC as well. And I don't really know much about Football Manager, so I'm going to read the little blurb here. It says, manage the club you love and compete for the biggest prizes in the game as you cement your legacy as one of the managerial greats. Dropped into a living and breathing footballing world, you'll sign wonder kids and develop them to their full potential by crafting a tactical strategy designed to play to their strengths. With more than 2,000 clubs waiting for you to lead them to glory, where will you take your first step towards managerial greatness? Sports. It basically sounds like you're a coach in charge of a football team. Not exactly something I would play, but I hear it's pretty popular overseas. The standout game of this whole announcement is NBA 2K21, one of the most played games on Xbox and pretty much any platform out there. It's available today on the console as well as streaming via xCloud on Android and eventually iOS and Windows 10 PCs. I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K21 recently. I have 12 hours into it and I absolutely love it. Although I haven't really gotten into my team or any of the stuff that you can do with that game, I'm pretty much just playing with friends and having a great time. However, the only real drawback from this announcement is it doesn't include the next-gen version of 2K21. This is only for the Xbox One version of NBA 2K21. I wish the next-gen version was included, and I have to wonder why it wasn't. Another game announced for March, which came out in October of last year, is Star Wars Squadrons, coming to EA Play, which means Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members get to play the game. You can master the art of starfighter combat in this authentic piloting experience, Star Wars Squadrons. Feel the adrenaline of first-person multiplayer space dogfights alongside your squadron and buckle up in a thrilling Star Wars story. It's also actually updated for the Xbox Series X and S, so you can play it at 4K up to 120 frames if you want to. Another EA Sports title that will be hitting Game Pass Ultimate in April is NHL 21. Now, I'm not a fan of the NHL franchise, but I know our friends up north in Canada especially are. And like I said at the beginning of this section, if you're not a fan of sports games, then this update for Game Pass for the next 2 weeks probably doesn't really appeal to you unless you really have been wanting to try Star Wars Squadrons. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every single time I drop a new video. Make sure you share this on social media or tell a friend about the channel. And if you want to take your support even further, you can always hit the join button where you will get access to channel badges and emotes for the Xbox 2 podcast we do every single Friday with Jez Corden from Windows Central. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.